Welcome to JForrest English Training. I'm Jennifer, and today you're going to test your English level to see if you know these common phrasal verbs. So first you'll complete the test, and then I'll explain every single phrasal verb in detail with example sentences. Let's get started. Question 1, please bear me while I look up your file. Now, I'm only going to give you 3 seconds for every question, so hit pause and take as much time as you need to review the question. Please bear with me while I look up your file. Question 2, the phrasal verb to attend to means... To attend to means to work on. Remember, I'm going to explain what every single phrasal verb means in detail with examples after the quiz. Number 3, why are you so angry? You need to cool. You need to cool down. Number 4, the phrasal verb for repair is... The phrasal verb for repair is fix up. Number 5, the phrasal verb for to discuss something so you can reach an agreement is to hash out. To hash out. Number 6, if someone is being too serious, you can tell them to lighten up. Lighten up. You're being too serious. Lighten up. Number 7, after years of studying English, my hard work has finally paid. My hard work has finally paid off. Number 8, we shouldn't rule out a graphic designer. We shouldn't rule out hiring a graphic designer. Number 9, my boss for being late again. My boss chewed me out for being late again. And number 10, let's give everyone a few minutes before we begin. To settle in. So, how did you do with that quiz? Was it easy, difficult? Share your score in the comments below. And now I'm going to explain every single phrasal verb in detail. So let's do that now. To bear with someone. This is a very common phrasal verb. It has a simple meaning. It means to be patient with someone. So we use this a lot with customer service representatives or anytime someone is providing you with a service. Now, it's very common when that person is providing you with that service to say, please bear with me. Please bear with me. Please be patient. So notice our verb tense, that's in the imperative, So we're starting with the base verb. Now, if you use this verb in other verb tenses, it's an irregular verb. The past simple is bore, and the past participle is, any idea? It's born. That's right, born. With an optional E for spelling, but pronunciation is exactly the same. In the past simple, you could say, I bore with him for 20 minutes. I was patient with him for 20 minutes. And in the past participle, you can use this in the present perfect. You might say, I've borne with you for 20 minutes. Our next phrasal verb is to attend to. Now notice we're using the verb attend. And I could say, last night I attended the party. But that's not a phrasal verb. That's just a regular verb because I don't have a preposition. I attended the party. I went to the party. But if we use the phrasal verb attend to, the meaning is different. I could say I attended to the party. Now, in this case, this means that I worked on or I paid attention to the party. So how could you work on a party? Well, you could work on organizing a party. So organizing all the details, sending out the invitations, buying the food, cleaning the apartment, getting the decorations. I attended to the party. So pay attention because the verb attend and the phrasal verb attend to have different meanings. Our next phrasal verb, to cool down. To cool down. We use this when someone is really angry, upset, or frustrated and you want them to relax. You can say, cool down, cool down. So let's say a client has been sending you a lot of emails and you're feeling really angry, irritated, annoyed, frustrated with that client. But before you call that client, you should definitely cool down. You need to take a minute and relax because you don't want to call that client when you're angry and frustrated and annoyed. You need to cool down, relax, chill. Our next phrasal verb, to fix something up. When you fix something up, it means you repair it or you change it in order to improve it. Now, in this case, when you change it, it's not necessarily broken. It could be that it's functioning, but you want to improve it. So you make some changes to it. You fix it up. So for example, I could say Sally loves fixing up old cars in her free time. Fixing up old cars. So she repairs them, but it could also mean that she just changes them. Maybe the car is working perfectly, but she changes it. She changes the color or she adds something to it. She fixes it up. Now, this is a very common phrasal verb around the house because there's always something to fix up, right? To change, to repair, to improve. Our next phrasal verb, to hash something out. When you hash something out, it means you talk about something specific with other people, and you do that because you want to get agreement. You want to get agreement on the details. So you can use this when you're planning a conference, planning a party, planning a project, any kind of event. And of course, with a project or conference, there are many details. The date, the time, who's doing what. So you need to hash out those details. You need to talk about them to get agreement. Okay, we agreed to the time of the conference. We hashed it out. We hashed out the time of the conference. Our next phrasal verb, to lighten up. Now remember, I already taught you to cool down, and that's when you're really angry, frustrated, annoyed, and you want to relax. Well, when you tell someone to lighten up, you also want them to relax, but they're not angry, frustrated, or annoyed. They're just being too serious. That's it. They're being too serious. They don't have a sense of humor. So maybe you were joking around with a coworker and they took it too seriously. And you just wanted to have some fun and joke around, but they're too serious. So you might say, lighten up, laugh a little, smile a little. You're too serious. So someone who's always like this, you know, they're not smiling, they're not laughing, they're just always very serious. You might want to tell that person to lighten up, smile, relax, laugh. But just remember, it isn't the same as cool down, because cool down, you're angry and annoyed. Lighten up, you're too serious. That's the difference between the two. Our next phrasal verb, to pay off. Now, when something pays off, it means that you see the benefit of the something. So let's say you spent the last month at home studying for a big exam. And you took the exam and you passed. You got a really high mark. you can say, all my studying paid off. So remember, something pays off. All my studying paid off. I now see the benefit of all the studying I did. So we use this a lot for any kind of work or effort that you put in. Now, it can be mental work for studying for your job, but it can also be physical work as well. So all your dieting, your exercising paid off because now you lost weight, you're stronger, you see the benefit of all your work. So we can use this with both mental work and physical work. Our next phrasal verb, to rule out. We use this when something prevents something else from happening. So a classic example, we have COVID and we have traveling. Now, COVID is preventing traveling from happening, right? So we can say COVID ruled out traveling, right? COVID prevented traveling. COVID ruled out traveling. Our next phrasal verb, to chew someone out. To chew someone out. This is when you tell someone that they've done something wrong, but you tell them angrily. So you don't tell them calmly, you know, you made a mistake, you shouldn't have done that. No, you're angry. So you might yell a little, you might use language that you normally wouldn't. You're angry, somebody did something wrong, and you tell them. So maybe your boss chewed you out because you were late for an important meeting. So your boss was not calm, your boss was angry. Why were you late? You shouldn't have been late. Why haven't I fired you yet? He chews you out. Or maybe you're on a sports team and your coach chewed you out because you missed an important practice. Now, if somebody chews you out and they're really angry, what phrasal verb goes with that? Phrasal verb that we've already learned. Cool down, right? Because if somebody's angry, why were you late? You can say, cool down, relax. And then you can explain why you were late. Our final phrasal verb, to settle in. When you settle in, it means you get comfortable in a new environment. And that new environment is generally a new house, a new school, a new workplace. And of course, at the beginning, you're not comfortable just because everything is new, right? But then you need some time to settle in. So settle in just means to get comfortable in a new environment. So let's say you move to a new city and a few weeks later, a friend could ask you, oh, have you settled in? Have you settled in? So they're just asking you, do you feel comfortable in your new city? And then you might reply back and say, yeah, I've settled in, or no, I haven't settled in yet. Now that you know how to use all of these phrasal verbs, how about we do the exact same quiz from the very beginning, and you can compare your score from the first time to this time. So let's do that quiz again now. Question 1, please bear me while I look up your file. Please bear with me while I look up your file. Question 2, the phrasal verb to attend to means, to attend to means to work on. Number 3, why are you so angry? You need to cool. You need to cool down. Number 4, the phrasal verb for repair is, the phrasal verb for repair is fix up. Number 5, the phrasal verb for to discuss something so you can reach an agreement is to hash out. To hash out. Number 6, if someone is being too serious, you can tell them to lighten up. Lighten up. You're being too serious. Lighten up. Number 7, after years of studying English, my hard work has finally paid. My hard work has finally paid off. Number 8, we shouldn't rule out a graphic designer. We shouldn't rule out hiring a graphic designer. Number 9, my boss for being late again. My boss chewed me out for being late again. And number 10, let's give everyone a few minutes to before we begin. To settle in. Was it easier this time? I'm sure it was. Did your score improve? Share your score in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, share it with your friends, and of course, subscribe. And before you go, make sure you head on over to my website. You can click the link right here and get your free speaking guide. In this guide, I share 6 tips on how to speak English fluently and confidently. And until next time, happy studying!